Dad said Mom died in her sleep. Peacefully, he claimed. No struggle, no pain. But her coffin felt too light. When they lowered it into the ground, I waited for the sound of weight, the thud of a body meeting wood. There was none, just hollow emptiness, like the echo of a lie. That night I couldn't sleep. The house was too quiet, too measured. Dad moved through it like an actor between takes, careful, deliberate, every gesture rehearsed. Then around midnight I heard footsteps outside my window, slow, dragging. I checked my phone. A new message, unknown number. The name that appeared froze my pulse. Mom. Don't trust him. I stared at it until the screen dimmed. Then another message arrived. Basement. Dad was watching TV when I came downstairs, a half-empty glass of whiskey trembling in his hand. He didn't look at me. You should get some rest. I nodded. Yeah. But I watched him. The way he avoided eye contact. The way he muttered to himself, like he was talking to someone who wasn't there. After he went to bed, I stood outside the basement door. I hadn't been down there since Mom's accident. He'd locked it, said it was under renovation. The lock was new, heavy, industrial. It didn't make sense. She was supposed to have died upstairs, in bed, so why lock the basement after she was gone? I felt the old unease crawl up my spine, the feeling I used to get when I caught them arguing and they'd stop the moment I entered the room. That silent exchange, that look. He always told me, "Your mother's fragile, you wouldn't understand." But the texts didn't feel fragile, they felt desperate. Over the next 3 days I played the dutiful son, quiet, obedient, watching. Dad grew restless. He started taking phone calls outside, whispering. At dinner he barely ate. Every time I mentioned Mom, his hand tightened around his glass. I began checking the house, small things, unnoticed details. The mail still came in her name. Her bank account remained active. And when I logged into her old email, there were drafts saved under no subject line, half-written pleas that ended mid-sentence. The final one was dated 2 days before she died. He knows. I can't leave. If anything happens, the basement. It cut off there. That night I waited until I heard his snores. Then I picked the basement lock. The smell hit first. Metal, dampness, and something faintly chemical. The stairs creaked under my weight. Boxes lined the walls, old furniture draped in sheets. A single fluorescent bulb flickered overhead. And then I saw it. Her necklace, hanging from a nail, the same one she wore the day she died. I moved closer. Beneath the workbench, a section of the floor looked wrong. Fresh concrete poured over old. I knelt, touched it. Still rough, still recent. Then I noticed the camera, a small red light blinking in the corner. He'd been watching me. The next morning he acted normal, made breakfast, asked about work. I said nothing. When he left for errands, I returned to the basement. I brought tools this time, a hammer, a chisel. The concrete broke easily. Beneath it, metal, a sealed hatch. My hands trembled as I lifted it. And there she was. Not her body, her journals, her passport, photographs, a new identity. Plane tickets under a different name. She'd been planning to leave him. The truth unraveled in silence. Mom wasn't dead. Dad had faked her death before she could expose him. I found hospital documents, but the signatures didn't match. I found security footage logs, deleted but retrievable. The night of her death, he'd driven out at 2 a.m. and returned hours later. When he came home that evening, I was waiting. He froze at the sight of the open hatch. "Where is she?" I asked. His face went pale. "You shouldn't have gone down there." "Where is she?" He exhaled, shaking his head. "You have no idea what she did." I stared at him, the phone in my hand recording everything. "I know what you did," I said quietly. He tried to talk, fast, defensive, words spilling out like blood. Lies he'd spent months perfecting. But I didn't interrupt. I just placed the file on the table. Her passport, her ticket, the photographs. His eyes widened. His breathing changed. "You ruined her," he whispered. "No," I said. "You did." I walked to the TV, plugged in the drive. The video played, him dragging a trunk into the basement, the same night she died. He lunged toward me, but I didn't move. "Police already have a copy," I said. "They'll come soon." He stopped. The realization hit him like gravity returning to a dream. His expression collapsed into something unfamiliar: fear. I watched him sink into the chair, shaking. The man I once called father looked small. "I loved her," he said. I almost believed him. Then I left him there, staring at the screen, replaying his own guilt. They found her a week later, alive, terrified. He'd kept her sedated in a remote property outside the city, her memory blurred by drugs. She didn't remember me at first, but when she saw the necklace I'd found, she cried. I didn't. The day they took him away, he looked back at me, eyes hollow, lips trembling. I gave him the same look he'd given me all my life: blank, distant, final. Now the house is mine. The basement is sealed. The messages stopped. Sometimes, at night, I still hear footsteps outside my window, but I don't check anymore. Some ghosts deserve to walk.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.